Assalamu alaikum students, how are you? I hope you will all be fine. In the last lecture, we discussed about the kinds of clauses. We discussed about the independent clause and subordinate clause. And today in this lecture, we are going to learn about the kinds of subordinate clauses. We have three kinds of subordinate clauses: noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause. First of all, we have to see what is a noun clause. A noun clause is an is a dependent clause that functions as a noun in a sentence. So how would we recognize in a sentence that it is a noun clause? Whenever is a clause would answer what? If you see that you can replace a clause with what, so it means that it will be a noun clause. Like the sentences here, what he did made a problem for his family. Instead of this clause, if you write what over here, what made a problem for his family, that it means that the clause which answers what is always a noun clause. Like you can see the other examples, a noun clause starts with words. So this is a list of all the subordinating conjunctions with which a noun clause starts. Whenever you see that a subordinate clause is starting with these conjunctions, so it means that it is a noun clause. Some examples are here with the noun clause. Whatever you learn will help you in the future. What will help you in the future? What you said made me laugh. What made me laugh? He knows what. The answer is that he will pass the test. How I realize what? The answer is what he would have thought. So whenever a clause would answer what, it will always be a noun clause. Then we come to the next kind, that is an adjective clause. First of all, we have to see what is an adjective. An adjective is a word which tells us more about a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. So same is the case over here, that when you read out this sentence, he wears a shirt which looks nice. Shirt is a noun in this sentence, and the clause is simply modifying this noun which is shirt over here. It is simply describing the noun which is shirt over here. So such kind of clauses which describes the noun in a sentence, they are called adjective clauses. Now the adjective clauses again are of two kinds: restrictive clauses and non-restrictive clauses. The other name of restrictive clause is essential clause. So both of these names, they can be used by the examiner, either restrictive clause or essential clause. So why do we call it an essential clause or restrictive clause? Because it is an essential part of the sentence and we cannot take it out of the sentence. We don't have this choice with us. Suppose in the first example, the student in the class who studied a lot passed the test. It means that the whole of this clause cannot be taken out of the sentence. It will be a restrictive clause. It will be an essential clause because we cannot take it out of the sentence. It is an essential part of the sentence. On the other hand, the non-restrictive clause or non-essential clauses, they are just there in the sentence just to give some more information about the noun. Otherwise, we can easily take them out of the sentence, and without them, the sentence would again be complete. Suppose you can see in the next example, the student in the class who had attended all the lectures passed the test. So the clause who had attended all the lectures can be easily taken out of the sentence. If we take it out of the sentence, the student in the class passed the test is all together complete, a meaningful sentence. So this is the reason that they are called non-essential clauses. They are just there to give some extra information about the noun, and they are always marked by the commas. This is the thing which you must keep in the mind. Then the next kind is an adverb clause. An adverb clause is a clause which simply acts as an adverb in a sentence as it modifies the situation in the main clause. What is the main clause? The independent clause of the sentence. It tells us why the action is done, when the action is done, how often the action is done. It tells us about the reason of the action and different other things about the action, all about the action, all about the verb. It simply tells us. And the key words which will be there, the subordinating conjunctions when, whenever, since, because, since, although, even, if, unless, only if. These are all the subordinating conjunctions. Whenever you see that a clause is beginning with these conjunctions, so they would be an adverb clause. Like you can see in the example, don't go before he comes. He takes medicine because he is ill. You are safe as long as you drive carefully. So all these clauses, they are telling us about different situations or about different reasons of the action. So they are all related to the action in the sentence. So this is the reason that we call them adverb clause. So this was all for today, guys. In the next lecture, we are going to have the practice worksheet with all these kinds of clauses. I have selected sentences from the past papers and we are going to practice them. Then your idea about the clauses is going to be more clear. Allah Hafiz.